What is up, everybody? Sean the D-Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are having yourselves a great Thanksgiving. We are here to do a quick little recap and talk about Auburn's win over St. John. They won. Let me make sure. I feel like I put the wrong. Did I put the wrong? No, no, I didn't. I put the right one. So Auburn wins 85-74 in Las Vegas, going 2-1 in the Players Era tournament. Obviously, they beat Oregon on Monday, lost to Michigan on Tuesday, and then beating St. John last night on Wednesday. So now, after Auburn got whooped by Michigan, the question was like, how would this team respond? And I would say the first 10 minutes, I thought they responded relatively well. The ball movement was good. St. John's was turning it over. They were being sloppy with it. There were some issues on Auburn's side because like Keyshawn Hall got 3 fouls in the first half. But then the last 10 minutes of the game, and I think Stephen Pearl even talked about it, the last 10 minutes of the game of the first quarter, or I'm sorry, the first half, it was pretty much all St. John's majority of the way. Now Auburn made some plays here and there, but it felt like every time Auburn would get close, St. John's would make some shots and stuff like that. And because of Keyshawn Murphy getting into foul trouble, he wasn't out there as much. You had to rely on Sebastian Adams, and then also Jovic wasn't playing tonight because of a hand injury. So you're already kind of down anyway. We did get to see some of Porum. I thought he played, well enough. Still some growing pains and stuff like that. With a lot of these people, a lot of these guys on this team, there's still gonna be a lot of growing pains. But St. John's is a quality good opponent for sure. And I believe they're categorized as a quad one win. Or at least type of opponent. So this is a nice little feather that you can stick in your cap for tournament time. But yeah, like the second half, however, I felt like it was all Auburn. It was because like it was crazy because Keyshawn Tahaad was really the only one carrying the team. Quite honestly, he was the main one. Now everybody else had some points here or there, but nobody really was stepping up offensively other than Tahaad. Um, because like Keyshawn Hall only had 2 points in the first half. Now he turned it on in the second half. Um, Elijah Freeman, he made some plays, not like crazy, but he got some points. But for some reason, it just seems like he is hesitating on his shots. Like there are moments watching the game. This is probably like last night, or not last night, but on Tuesday night against Michigan, where he would he would catch the ball and he just hesitates. He doesn't pull the trigger. There were times where like especially against St. John where he caught it. He had just enough space and time to where he could, if he wanted to shoot up a three, he could have, but he didn't. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Hopefully that um that kind of he gets out of that funk. Hopefully he does. Overton, uh, he's okay, but like I don't know. I don't know. He made some plays. I suppose you want to say. Um, but yeah, let's look at the stats. So for Auburn, you got Keyshawn Hall 20 points, Kevin Overton 12, Tahaad 27, and then Murphy and Freeman gave you 8 and 9. Both those guys are almost in double figures, and then you honestly didn't really get much out of your bench. Now Jovic was not involved in this game, so that's one less piece that you had. But it was pretty much on your starters tonight or last night against St. John's. Um, Obviously that will change when Jovic gets back in, but still need to see still need to see a bit more out of the bench, I guess. I mean, Aporum gave you 6. Simon Walker gave you 1. He must have went to the free throw line. I must have missed that because I don't remember seeing him there. And then Magwood as well gave you uh, some 3 points. So I'm sorry. I'm looking at. Why am I looking at minutes? Points. I don't know why I was looking at minutes. But yeah. Yeah. So Mag would only give you 2 points. So your bench really didn't help out in this game. It felt like Steven played the starters a lot longer than he typically does. Because I feel like usually like within the first maybe 3, maybe 4 minutes, he's already um rotating. Now again, Jovic's not in, so maybe that had to make some adjustments to it. Bashir also, I believe, didn't play as well. That probably played some things into it as well. Um, so it's that's fine, I guess. I suppose. It was just interesting to me. It was just interesting to me that was that he did that. But I'm fine with it. They played a little bit longer, so that's not a big deal. But stat wise for the game, let's see, we got you were 55% field goal percentage. That's relatively good. St. John's missed some easy layups in this game, which it probably would have helped out a little bit more for them. They missed some easy shots. 6 of 14 for three, so you were about 43%. It's not bad. Both went to the line a good bit, but obviously 21 to 25, a lot better. Free throw percentage good. Rebounding, of course, that's gonna be an issue. But I mean, you won the rebounding by three. Um, they won offensive rebounding, but you won the defensive rebounding. So that's a nice little positive thing right there. 16 assists. And what was interesting was, I believe, with the Michigan game, there weren't that many assists. I remember, I think they pulled up a graphic that said like, because Monday against Oregon, there was like Auburn had, I think it was like 14 assists in that game, and then against Michigan they only had three. But tonight they had 16. This team, I think the issue with the Michigan game, and you've probably seen a little bit of it too at times, is this team has this tendency of, it's again, this is just still goes into them being a new team and everything and trying to mesh and everything. But a lot of times it was a lot of one, it's like, one on one. There was no offensive flow. There was no moving the basketball. You saw a lot of that in the first 10 minutes of the game against St. John. There was a lot of moving the basketball and stuff like that. But then it kind of stopped when St. John's got their head on and started, making plays on their end. And then the second half, you started to see it again, the assist and everything, the ball movement. Um, so 14 turnovers compared to 12. Got 20 points off of that. Sorry. 18 fast break. Points in the paint. Surprisingly, you points in the paint. You won that one. Was Murphy being out as much as he was, and Sebastian Adams and Oporum did enough to hold their own in that regard. But your larger lead was 13. But you got to win. 6-2. You leave this tournament 6-2 with a win after getting beaten by Michigan, and I believe now, I think Auburn's off for a week. I think is what it is. Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, it is a week because they'll come back next Wednesday on December 3rd, an 8:15 tip off against North NC State with the what is it, SEC ACC challenge. So you get a week off, you get the rest. You play 3 games in 3 days. I'm sure these guys were like definitely tired and stuff like that, but they got the win. That's all that matters. So still room to improve for sure. They are definitely, not where they need to be, but we're only 8 games into the season, so there's gonna be plenty of time to get right and gel more and more. Hopefully, by the start of SEC play, these guys have played enough games together that, from because I still feel like we haven't seen their full capability from the offensive side of things. I think defensively for the most part through a lot of the games. The defensively they played relatively well, but offensively I think there's still just some hitches that they need to fix. But like the free throws they had against St. John, that was great. Your 3-point percentage was relatively good, 45%. Your two main guys, Keyshawn Hall and Tahaad Pettifer, leading the way with some help with some of the supporting other characters. Still need some of those other supporting characters to improve, particularly on the bench and things like that. And you can't have Overton or Freeman or both just giving you nothing offensively like they did against Michigan. Everybody has to contribute in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, we're still not the final product of what this team can be come March for sure. But it's going to be interesting for sure. There are going to be some lumps, so you're going to have to just deal with that and just learn from those. So solid win, 2-1, leaving the Players Era tournament. You got two nice wins with Oregon and St. John's. You would have loved to add the Michigan one, but I think Michigan right now is. Let me see. So okay, yeah. So Michigan looks like they're going to be a pretty good basketball team. Yeah, so you may end up facing them again in the tournament. So who knows? But guys, that's relatively it. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Have a great Thanksgiving with your family. I will have my Iron Bowl preview out tomorrow on Friday, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys again for hanging out. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.